Hello, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's reads. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. For the tarot portion, I'm using Gilded Tarot Royale by Ciro Marchetti, text by Barbara Moore. The website is llewellyn.com, if I can get it to focus. Feel free to check out any of those social links, of course, and there's the llewellyn.com if you're interested. Supportive Oracle cards. You Are Clairvoyant Oracle cards by Belinda Grace. Illustrated by Elaine Marzin. And the website is rockpoolpublishing.com.au. A is an apple, U is an umbrella. And last but not least, I use dice. I use a 22-sided dice for the major arcana, substituting 22 for 0 for the Fool. 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and a 4-sided dice to choose the element for the minor arcana. They came from the dice shop, which is mathartfun.com. I'm not sure if you can see the website. I'll try to get a little closer. mathartfun.com if you're curious to see what's there. Of course, if you'd like a reading by me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching this part, and let's get into your reading. Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's reads. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, let's get into your reading. Okay, what do we have for Capricorn? That's what I usually say. Alright, so I got the cards already down. I only got like a few minutes in, and then the camera turned right off. So I'm like, okay. Are we having some fun moments here? So the reading is good. I feel like we have some retrograde things going on. I don't remember, to tell you the truth, but I'm gonna try this again, see what I get for you, because what I'm getting, what we're starting off with, is like something. There's a disappointment from the past that needs to be addressed. Now, this is a really tricky one, because I get that whatever's going on here, while it was happening, I don't think I knew it was happening. So it's almost like, if for example, if you were getting married, back when you were getting married, I should say, maybe if you are married, back when you were getting married, there was some stuff, there's some tomfoolery, there was some unscrupulous things happening that maybe you didn't know about at the time. 2 or 3 years pass, and all the truth is coming forward to you, and you're finding out what was going on. And it's kind of like, okay, alright, this is actually a problem. It's already said and done, it's already happened. We're a few years after the fact, but it's more about the behaviors of certain people. It's behaviors, and it could be like maybe people in your bridal party, maybe people in your family, friends, whatever. Could be the person you married, could be anybody involved in this situation. When you're looking back and you're realizing they were doing things that, like, if you had known that at the time, the current situation would have a different outcome. For whatever it may be. But it's kind of like, if I known then what I know now, I wouldn't be where I am right now with this current person or situation, especially if it was, for example, it was the person you ended up marrying. It's just an analogy. And it's kind of like, well, if I had known that was happening at the time, we wouldn't have gone through with this. So there's a lot going on with this situation, and I keep getting that there's like the need to like look a little deeper, because I feel like the energy around this situation, even though it's past, it's more about the people and how the people acted, or the situation. Even though it's kind of like at the time it seemed like it was fine, and I feel like people are telling me, yeah, but that's the past, it's over. Yeah, it's the past, it's over. Yeah, but it's not. These people could do this type of thing again. It's like, that's a bad way for people to live. And it's kind of like, I'm looking at it like, if they were willing to do that at that time in life, why would I believe that they couldn't do that type of thing again? And it's making me really uncomfortable, and I feel like I don't like this random energy. I don't like how this feels. And it's starting to become very aggravating, to the point where I have to look a little deeper and decide, wait a minute, even though that happened then, even though I am where I am now, Do I need to look at this situation and make different decisions? Do I need to kind of reconstitute this, or step away from this, or do something else because what I thought it was built on was not really there? It's almost like believing your house is built on a very stable piece of rock, and then you're finding, nope, it wasn't built on that. It was actually that whatever's under it, there's something dangerous below it, where the house is now in jeopardy. Is there a way that I can reinforce below this house, or is this house now a danger? Is there a way to fix the problem, or does the problem that already exists make the situation unsatisfactory now? So looking at it like a house, I was told there's a nice piece of rock under it, house is safe, foundation is secure. That's what I was told. I'm finding out years later, nope, there's this big cavern under there. There's a big cavern and it's eroding. So it's kind of like, all right, before the house falls through this cavern, is there a way to fix it to where we can stabilize the house and the house can actually be safe? We can fill in that cavern, we can stop it from eroding, all that good stuff. Or is it just kind of like, I'm just getting a warning about what's actually here, and I need to kind of get out of this house before I go down with the house. What is actually happening? And it's bothering me. And it's like, is it really that serious? I don't know. I have to look deeper into it because it feels like it's that serious. It's making me very uncomfortable. And part of looking at this is very kind of like, I feel like people are fighting against me on this, kind of like, you're holding on to things that don't matter anymore. You're holding on to things that have already passed. It's not about that. This is what this situation is built from. And I've seen this happen before. I cringe at this analogy. I really cringe at this. There's people that, I remember they got married. I wasn't that close to it. I was more off to the side. I heard about it afterwards. But one of the people getting married did some things that were really, it was financially messed up. How's that? It wasn't like cheating, like with another person. It was financially messed up. They pulled some really unscrupulous things. And I remember afterwards the other person who didn't do that stuff, was very unhappy and had said that if they had known that at the time, they would not have gone through with the marriage. But they patched up, they got over it, they kept going, right? That person who made those bad financial decisions was very prone to do them again for a certain reason. And it's kind of like things fell apart later. It was just kind of like that behavior that they had during the wedding, it's almost like they suppressed it for a while, possibly, but then it popped up again later, and they still created this ending. Now, it's one of those things where you have to look at the situation and what created it and why it's there. But basically, it's kind of like it was in that person's personality to make these bad decisions. I remember looking at it and like they didn't even like secure their. I feel like they could have handled it differently. I feel like they could have looked at it and kind of said, all right, clearly this one person's capable of making really bad financial decisions. Maybe there's something that the two of them can agree on that would make it so that that other person feels safe, to where the person who makes bad financial decisions wouldn't have that type of control and would have to triple check with the other person before they had any type of legal way of actually destroying their finances. I don't know, it was a whole thing. The fact that they just kind of, well, it was in the past, let's let it go, didn't seem like it was a good idea, but that wasn't my place to say anything, so I just stayed out of it personally. But then it came back and it did sink the ship later. And the reason I'm giving this analogy is because I feel like Capricorn can relate to this. Kind of like people do things in the past, and like you can improve behaviors, but certain behaviors, it depends why they happened. I don't know. People like to believe people can change. Within reason, I've seen people who are not the best actually improve and become better. I believe in that. But usually people who have like a certain outlook on life, like, you know, if they're bad with finances, they can improve, but they're still prone to being bad with finances. They have to kind of work at it. It's kind of like, I'm going to say this too, certain people I feel like if they're chronic liars, like chronic, I have a hard time believing that's going to change. There's other people who are just kind of like they lie, but they kind of grow up with it, and then they kind of work out of it. They work at making sure they don't say lies because for some reason they grew up in that environment. Okay, yeah, that kind of can improve, but it's kind of like you have to look back at this situation and like, all right, this person made these bad decisions. then they hid them. And then maybe, and did they come forward? Did you find out about this because they came forward and they just had to finally tell you? Or did they want to tell you? It's kind of looking at it in those lines, because I'm getting like there's a whole revolution going on here. And it's kind of like you seeing your self-worth and accepting the situation for what it is so that you can stabilize it for the way it should be, not versus what you kind of got stuck with. The energy feels a little, it does feel a little off, and I'm questioning, like, is it the way I'm reading it, or is it just like, if this is hitting, it's just really uncomfortable? Because Capricorn does not invest their time to give up. That's not a Capricorn thing. If you got involved in this, you believed in it, they gave you reasons to believe in it, and you invested in that. And when somebody shows you that you invested in something that was a lie, that's extremely painful, especially for Capricorn, because Capricorn is very careful. And if somebody slips by you, that's painful. That's really difficult. Really, really difficult. And it's kind of like, how did I not see that? It's hard. Like, you're human like everybody else, clearly, but it could be a very difficult thing to just like, because it's like you don't want to give up on what you've created. You want to believe in what you created, but if it turns out that like it's built on lies, it's hard to see that. It's really hard to see that. It's kind of like, I don't want that to be the truth. But this might be one of those readings where it's like, maybe it's time to look a little deeper and maybe start scrutinizing other things and kind of like, are these lies more prevalent than not? Was there a reason at the time? Is there a reason that I haven't been told of for the things that happened at that time? That might be another layer to this. The story you're getting, you might see the physical proof of what happened, but the story that you're getting for why it happened may not be matching. And maybe if you do dig a little deeper and find out those truths, that might help you make a better decision going forward. Because it's kind of like, now that I know why they did that, I need to get out of this situation. It could be. Take it with a grain of salt. Readings are the general readings. Because I feel like I'm trying to like make a decision, kind of like, I don't want to give up what I already have, but I'm trying to make sure that what I have is actually real. I'm trying to make sure this is real, like the self-acceptance, the beauty, the world. I'm trying to make sure it's real, especially because when I look at the past, I'm like, if it was built on lies, is it real? Was what I think I have real? If this situation is hitting, I gotta be careful with this, because if this is hitting, I feel like this is a bit heavy. Okay, so King of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, and the Justice, half in, half out. Somebody else a part of this situation, they feel like they know what they need to say to you to keep you where they want you. They feel like they know that. Doesn't mean they do, but they feel like they do. To get around this energy, for you to find the truth, if this is actually happening, it's a general read. I feel like this is heavy, man. Let them believe what they want. Let them believe that you're buying a hook, line, and sinker, because their defenses will drop and you will easily see the truth. If you call them out, their defenses go up. They try even harder to pull it over your eyes, like the wool over your eyes. They try even harder. If you allow them to believe what they want to believe and you just kind of stay away from them, you don't have to say much. They seem to feel like if you believed that they were lying, that you'd call them right out on it. I keep getting that. So if you just let them believe what they want to believe, defenses drop and you're going to see right through them very easily. It's the easiest way to get the truth for you in this situation. Especially if you kind of pull back and you just kind of give some distance between you and them as much as you can, realistically. I feel like they get a little overconfident and they're going to sink their own ship. Take that with a grain of salt, because I'm getting a lot of swords energy coming up after this, where you're figuring it out and you're seeing it for what it really is. Which is ironically going to be very empowering for you and might make you feel pretty good about the decisions you're about to make. Strength. Seven of Swords reversed. The Seven of Swords reversed is telling me nobody's getting away with anything here. I'm simply biding my time. And, you know, it's weird because the Strength card coming in, half out, is telling me some days I just don't have the strength to deal with this person. I just don't have the strength to call them out. That's going to work to your benefit. Timing will work to your benefit. Because I'm getting this Queen of Swords energy, like you're figuring it out. Queen of Swords has control of what they do and don't talk about. And people typically know not to mess with the Queen of Swords. You're going to figure this out. You're going to see what you need to see. You're going to line up what you need to line up. And when you find the truth, consider investing in the truth. Instead of trying to change what you find, it might be better to just accept what you find. Take it with a grain of salt. Because by trying to change it and trying to fix it, it's going to be a very, very heavy load, and it may never hit what you want it to hit. It may never become what you need it to become. You can draw it out for the longest time and still never get what you need to get out of it. Another possibility, again, just accept the truth for what you find. But just believe what you found and just realize it's been that way in the past, and now that you've had a moment to really see the truth, it looks like if the past matches the current energy, might as well just accept that it's going to match the future energy too. Take it with a grain of salt, do what you think is right, but you can free yourself from this situation. You can go into a whole nother situation, and you don't have to be fighting for something that will never be what you need it to be. This is gross, but I don't remember what movie. I want to say it's from a movie. Somebody said you can't polish a turd. You can't. You can't polish a turd. Somebody once told me, well, if you dry it out, you still can't polish a turd. We're not doing that. You can't polish a turd. Sooner or later, by the way, this is one of the things I'm kind of worried about this. Take it with a grain of salt. You could end up trying to make this work and putting all the effort into it to make it the best you can. But whoever you're dealing with, especially when you see them for who they really are, they're not enjoying it anymore. They don't like it when you see them for who they are. They want you to believe who they want you. They want you to believe they are who they say they are, not who they actually are. They want you to, it's like they want to put up this cardboard cutout and be like, believe that's me. Believe this is me. That's who I want you to believe is me. This person that I'm showing you, not the person that you can actually see. They don't want you to see them for who they are. I don't know what to say about that. They just don't seem to want it. And the more that they get used to you seeing them for who they really are, because once you see them, I don't feel like you're going to play any games with it. You're like, no, I see you, and we're not playing that game. No, I know what you're capable of, and we're not playing that game. No, I know what you did before, and you're not going to get the chance to do that again. So we can work on this. We can try to make this what we need it to be, but we're going by my rules now because I see you for who you are. And the longer this goes, the less they see the point in it. And sooner or later, what I'm getting here is that they will move on. Not because of the effort, but because you're not going to play it the way they want you to play it. It reminds me of playing a game like whatever board game you can think of. But they want it to where they have whatever board game you can think of. They want to be able to roll with advantage every time. So for example, if you were going to get if you win this thing, you get $10. They want to have $30. They want to be able. They always want the advantage. They don't want to play by the rules. They want to play it with their own advantages. They want to get away with cheating, basically, and they want you to not see it and just to believe that they're good at the game. And when you're not willing to do that anymore, they're going to disappear anyway. Because that's not how they like to play the game. They like to be the one that they don't care how they win, they just want to win. And this one is heavy. I just was not expecting it to be this heavy. Even though there's a lot of good cards, like the messages that are coming through are just kind of like, they're just trying to help you like see it for what it is, verify it to make sure it is what it is, and then just make a decision that actually serves you and not somebody else. Because it may look like it serves you in the beginning, but long run, if this person just kind of walks away, it didn't serve you in the long run. Sooner or later, this time will pass, and better things are waiting for you. You don't have to take 2 to 3 decades to get there, though. I know people, you know a lot of people over the years. I'm almost 50, so I know people who stayed together for a couple decades, and there was always problems. There was always, and they ended up in the same place. And I remember the one person saying to me, if they just had accepted it years ago, they'd have been a lot happier in the long run. Take it with a grain of salt. Readings are for entertainment purposes only, you know. But it's just something to chew on. Something to chew on. Like, if this doesn't go where you want it to, like, they're just saying there's other things out there for you. The message is going to hit if it's going to hit. And if it's really there, I feel like it's heavy. Like, this is heavy. It bothers me. If it's really there and if it's really for you, it may seem like a random decision, but it's really not. It's an investment in you. It's you realizing you're worth getting what you want in life, not accepting what somebody kind of railroaded you into. And normally, Capricorn doesn't accept being railroaded into things, but like whatever this is, it could be quite heavy like that, and it's kind of like you don't have to accept this. You can go on to better things, and the sooner you let go of this, the sooner you can get something that's actually worth your time. Take it with a grain of salt. It feels heavy, like it's like, oh my god. Alright, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.